The verdict is in. This afternoon, a jury reaches a verdict in a case against a Tempe mom accused of killing her own two children. Yui Inoue is charged with 2 counts of murder in the deaths of her kids back in May 2021. Good afternoon, and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 4. I'm Tram Mai.
And I'm Troy Hayden. It was an awful crime. 12 News journalist Erica Stapleton covering this trial in the courtroom. So what happened? Not a very long deliberation by this jury, Erica.
No, not at all, Troy. Tram, it took less than 2 hours for the jury to reach that guilty verdict on all 5 counts, including 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of Yui Inoue's 2 children. And the jury was warned early on that this was going to be a really hard case to hear. Just this morning, each side finished their closing arguments in that trial of Yui Inoue. The Tempe mom was accused of murdering her 2 kids, Mia and Kai, in the family's apartment in May 2021. Hours before discovering the bodies, Tempe police had visited the apartment for a domestic disturbance. In that instance, Inoue's then-husband said they were arguing and she threatened him with a knife. He wound up leaving the apartment, leaving Inoue alone with the kids. Prosecutors believe Inoue killed her kids with a meat cleaver after that police visit to get back at her husband because they were going through a divorce. Inoue drove herself to a police station later that morning with bloody clothes and the alleged murder weapon in her car. Inoue pleaded not guilty to all the charges in this case, and her defense attorney tried to sway the jury here, calling it a he said, she said in her closing arguments.
Your job is not to speculate. It's their job to answer those questions for you. They can't do that.
It is time to focus on why we are here. And we are here because this woman tried to decapitate 2 souls on May 15th of 2021.
Yui Inoue was not in the courtroom for any of this. She waived her right to be there for most of this trial and was let out of the room before the jury took their seats. Inoue also waived her right to be there as the verdict was rendered. So she did not hear in real time all of those guilty verdicts rendered by the jurors. However, she will have to be in the courtroom for her sentencing, which is now scheduled for next month. We're live in Phoenix. Erica Stapleton, 12 News.
And Erica, what is the maximum she can get here? The death penalty is not on the case here, is it?
No, this wasn't a capital case. It may have been floated early on. Again, this case has been going on for a few years. But as far as we know right now, she is facing the max for those 2 murder convictions, which is life in prison. So, and you know, Troy, thinking back to all this, there was DC's involvement. We learned during the trial that Yui Inoue was actually supposed to be going back to Japan as terms of the divorce. Her husband was supposed to have custody of the kids. She was going to Japan just days before these murders occurred. So it makes you really think, did any of this have to happen? It's a really horrible case.
It really is sad.
Those 2 little kids are gone.
I know, young kids. All
Erica,
right.
thank you.